Well, it's said you can't go home, but that is just what Chef Bryan Voltaggio did. Born and raised in Maryland, he is a true child of Chesapeake, working at a local hotel where he learned to cook. In 2008, he opened his first restaurant, Volt, and he hasn't looked back since.
He's executive chef and owner of 5 popular restaurant brands: Volt, Lunchbox, Family Meal, Range, and Agio, with 9 locations in Maryland, Virginia, and Washington. In his new cookbook, Home, he puts his own twist on the Mid-Atlantic classic and comfort dishes that he grew up with. Chef Bryan Voltaggio, welcome to The Dish.
Thank you. Thanks for having me this morning.
We got some fried chicken here this morning.
Yes, it's a great breakfast.
Walk us through what we have on the table.
Yeah, no, of course. So first we have a cocktail. It's really delicious, called Smoke on the Water. It's a mezcal drink with watermelon. It's really great for backyard barbecues, but it's also it's lower in alcohol, and it's made that way so it's a little bit more of a sessional cocktail, so you can actually, have it for the party and have it, for an event. It's a punch bowl cocktail. So we also have a salad. It's a bib lettuce with some strawberries and blue cheese and balsamic. It's just really great salad. It has, a good amount of acidity, a little sweetness. It's really perfect for this time of the year. This fried chicken, this is a staple at Family Meal, our restaurant that we first opened in Frederick. We have 4 locations now, but the secret to this is a pickle brine. So we use pickle juice, a roasted chicken stock. We brine that overnight, and then we bread it and fry it, and it's truly delicious. Really, really
what kind
crispy.
Of oil do you guys use also?
We use just standard frying oil, canola oil or something like that. I mean, it's nothing
fancy. Yeah.
No. You can fry it in anything. But peanut oil is really great too. But you can also use lard if you want. So we have a coleslaw here. This is celeriac and green apple. It has some celery leaves, some capers. It's a really delicious, twist on a coleslaw. Some biscuits, and then we also have, this is my favorite, it's a banana butterscotch pudding parfait. It's to die for. It really is. I encourage that when you get to that, you just stick your spoon in and kind of dig down to the bottom. It's, has a lot of texture and a lot of flavor.
We mentioned this a little bit, but you were 14 when you got a job as a busboy, right, at the Holiday Inn, thanks to your father, I guess, who was working security there.
Yes, he was, yeah.
Is that what really started all of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I started at a really early age. I mean, you saw some photos of me when I was younger cooking with my grandfather. I always had this love and passion for food, and we grew up in an area in Frederick, Maryland, where there's a lot of agriculture around, or fortunately our home backed up to a farm, so we got to see a lot of produce. And but I started cooking when I was 14, but it was a lot cooler for what they were doing in the kitchen than me clearing tables. I wanted to get in there and have fun. So
many people recognize you, of course, from Top Chef as the nice brother.
Oh yeah,
if they would watch the show, they would know that.
Yeah.
What was it like competing with him? Because you already had a restaurant before you even signed up for that show. What made you want to do it, and was it hard to do it with him?
The thing is, I opened that restaurant, and 7 months after I opened it, we went on to Top Chef, and I think part of it was, I knew that if Michael was going to go on the show, I knew that if we went on together, we might have a chance to actually, push each other to get through the process and try to get to the end. But there's a lot of uncertainty. But what I do know is that at the time, there's a lot of chefs that got a lot of notoriety for being on it. But I'd already opened my restaurant, so it was a big gamble, but it paid off well.
You've opened 3 restaurants in I think 3 months, right?
Yeah, we opened 3 restaurants in the first 120 days of the year,
right?
and
you've got a cookbook. How are you managing all this?
It's I learned from the best. I worked for Charlie Palmer for a long time, and he certainly I've watched his career and been a part of it, and he's been a great mentor, and but it's balancing time and with the restaurants, but also a home life and balance is really important. But I have a really great team. It really takes. I'm not the only cook in the kitchen. I have plenty of people that are behind me that really make this happen.
You were interviewed recently, and you said something like, "My favorite dish is always the next dish."
Yes.
What did you mean by that?
Because I'm always looking for a new flavor, texture, idea, and I certainly will always revert back to the repertoire as for inspiration, but I'm always seeking new, and I feel like that keeps me progressive. It keeps me, keeps it exciting, and I think maybe that's why I cook too, because I love having the opportunity to not have a monotonous work schedule. There's always something new and exciting in the kitchen. So.
Chicken's absolutely delicious. As we hand you this dish and get your signature on, we want to know if you could have this meal with any person, past or present. Who would that person be?
I'd have to say it would certainly be with probably my grandfather, you saw earlier. Only because he was such a passionate cook, and he'd spend a lot of time cooking with me in the kitchen at home. I think he would be proud of what I've done now.
Chef Bryan Voltaggio, thank you so much. And for more on the dish, please head to our website at cbsthismorning.com. And Chef Bryan Voltaggio will also be answering your questions on our CBS This Morning Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/CBS This Morning to join in.